For instance, like I'll give you an example of Steve Cook, which is a wholesaler and flipper.
Yes.
He's a guru in that department. He owns a website called flippinghomes.com.
Yes.
And I've been actually able to do a partnership with him before, and with his partner, JP.
Okay.
We did a partnership together. And if you arrive on their website, and now you want to find out how to get a hold of them, you can go into different domain services like GoDaddy.com or Namecheap.com and type in that address and look up their Whois data. And it's the public data that is provided by those services, and it tells you their information, where they're located at, their, contact information, if they haven't, set privacy on it, which most people don't really do that because they either don't know how to do that or they just forget about it.
What you just said was very, very important. I want people to really understand that. You're saying that, in essence, you've got an investors list, the investors website now, and you're trying to contact the investor so that you propose your joint venture. What you do is you go to, what website was that again?
You can go to GoDaddy.com.
Okay.
It's GODADDY.
Okay.
.com. It's a company that you can register domains under with them.
Okay.
Costs like, $10 or so to register a domain. I use Namecheap.com.
Okay.
I've used them for years and I recommend them highly. NAMECHEAP.com.
Okay.
And you can look up the Whois information under. You can pretty much find out, where they're located and their phone number. Because when you register a domain, you are required by law to provide your contact information.
Okay. After checking the Whois information at GoDaddy website, you now see the actual contact information for the person. They put it in when they were actually buying the domain name, and now you can contact the persons directly.
Constantly think about when contacting them, what's in it for them? Because that's what they're thinking. What's in it for me? Why should I help you out? How is that going to benefit me? So you want to focus on how you can give them benefits. How is that going to benefit them, your joint venture proposition?
Wow,
and you don't want to pitch them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to pitch anybody, so.
It has to be win-win. If it's not win-win, then it's really not a good deal.
Right on.
Good, that's good. That was joint venture. Do you have any other fast list building techniques besides joint ventures?
Google AdWords. Okay. That's a paid way of doing it, but it's a pretty fast way of setting up a campaign. You can set up a campaign in 10 minutes and start getting traffic to your website. The thing with Google AdWords is you got to be extremely careful, and you kind of need to know what you're doing because, if you don't set up your settings the right way, maximum amount of money that you want to spend on each day, and if you don't target your ads the right way, Google will slap your ads. There's a term going on the internet called Google Slap.
Yes.
And they'll start raising your prices on your ads, and you actually end up paying more for your ads than you should. And you can, lose thousands of dollars if you don't, not dollars, you can spend, a couple $100 in a day if you're not paying attention. So you need to be careful, but it's an easy way of getting traffic to your website.
Yeah. I also know that Google, they have a way in which you can target your ads locally. So my question now in that regard, is it better to make your keywords like the global keywords like sell house fast, for instance, and then have it targeted locally on Google? Or is it better to make the keyword sell house fast Maryland, sell house fast? I mean, what is your take on that?
When you're doing Google AdWords, I would recommend to focus on a very targeted keywords because you don't, if you think about it, you don't want to waste your money on somebody that's not really interested in what you want, what you provide them.
Okay.
So you want your keywords that you put in your ads to be targeted, that when the person types in a search in Google and they see your ad, that's exactly what they're looking for.
Okay.
And you have a higher chance, to actually get them to sign up to your squeeze page. And that helps with your how Google sees you in regards to marketing, because the way Google works too is the higher your conversion is on your ad,
yes,
Google will start bumping you up and lowering your cost for your ad.
Okay.
So you want to, set up your campaigns in such a way that you only have, 1 or 2 keywords per each ad, and that ad needs to be specifically targeted for that keyword, and a squeeze page that's after that ad needs to be targeted for that keyword as well.
Wow.
You following me?
I totally understand.
Okay.
So it's still part of the question was, is it better to use Google's way of targeting your ad to a local area? Because I know like you can actually target your ads locally on, say for instance, you wanted to have your ads only show up in Maryland, certain parts of DC and whatever. You can actually set that up at Google's AdWords website. There are also people that say, besides doing that, you can also add like local terms to your keyword. So, for instance, now you have that sell house fast. You can also add sell house fast Maryland as that keyword. So, like, I was trying to find your take on those two different forms of doing a local search.
Yes, it is much better to do a local search, especially for investors, because, you know, most investors, unless you are doing virtual wholesaling where you go and look for a specific market around the United States area to find a house that you want to flip to an investor in that area.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing that, you are focusing on local market.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to, just like you said, focus on specific terms on the local field. Add that, you know, the local Maryland, you know, the keyword in there, you know.
Yeah, okay. That was very, very informative right there. The next question was how to make use of the videos for your marketing. I know we've already talked about it previously, but maybe you have some additional points that you want to add on to that.
Sure. Like I said, video is one of my favorite techniques. I love doing video. I'll probably be doing a lot more in the future. Couple points when you're doing video, like I said, put a watermark at the bottom, mm-hmm. and there is software on there that you can utilize when you're doing a screen capture. One that I use that is actually paid, it's called Camtasia.com.
Yes.
And it's a great software for capturing screen. You can also, you know, do a walkthrough to houses, and you can get a camera, you know, digital mm-hmm. camera. Some of the more inexpensive cameras that you can use is there's a camera called Flip,
yes.
F-L-I-P.
Yes.
You can go on Amazon and search for, I think it's like $130 for that camera. And it's really easy to use. It's very user-friendly, and you can basically, once you record something on there, you can just, it has an attached USB connection, and you can just go and plug it into your computer and upload it right there and then. And I think actually now has the capability of uploading directly to YouTube. So it's a no-brainer. But when you do walkthroughs throughout the houses, you want to make sure that you don't shake your camera. You want to be kind of professional. If you can have, you know, two people where one is, you know, taping it and you're actually showing around, that's a good way of doing it. Just make sure you don't shake your camera. One way of doing it, not to, you know, to prevent shaking, is when you're walking with your camera, mm-hmm. you want to sort of bend your knees.
Bend your knees, okay.
Yeah, you bend your knees a little bit, and that kind of minimizes the shaking that's going on. And then, you know, cameras have different, those anti-shake stabilizing technology too, so you can use that too. What else could I tell you about video? Oh, well, here's another great little gem here for you. When you have your video ready to go out on the internet, there is a website that you can upload your video, and it will distribute your video to 21 different video sites.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, what else do they do? Meta Cafe, I think, Raver, stuff like that. That particular website is called Tube Mogul,
yes.
and you spell that as TUBEMOGUL.com. And it's a free website. It's free for use, and they actually have an analytics software in there that actually tells you how your video is doing throughout different websites. So that's a great website that you can use to upload your video, you know, and you can, you know, specify keywords for each video that you want to target to. So